They say good credit, bad credit, no problem. When I get there, it's always a problem. And I don't wanna be out of broke no more, for I end up robbing. Bad credit on me down, I say yeah. They don't want us going nowhere. I know you need help out the mud too. My daughter want that crib too. I know that we deserve things too. Just because I'm not as rich as you, that don't mean I don't deserve my chance to get it. You think we strong now? Wait till I fix my credit, dog. I've been through it all. Big OG in St. Louis hit me up with that call. Said it's pleasant management to fix your credit when you got it wrong. OG said forget them all, show you bigger ways to ball. Cause that's just what they want, for you to not have nothing and they can't ever stunt. Your life is on a budget and I know that they love when we tie down. Cause when you can't stand up, you fall down. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. When I get there, it's always a problem. And I don't wanna be out of broke no more, for I end up robbing. Bad credit on me down, I say yeah. They don't want us going nowhere. I know you need help out the mud too. My daughter want that crib too. I know that we deserve things too. Just because I'm not as rich as you, that don't mean I don't deserve my chance to get it. You think we strong now? Wait till I fix my credit, dog.
Yo, good morning. That was my homeboy, Darren STL, one of the hottest artists in St. Louis. That's going to be my intro song for the rest of the year. So this morning, I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible. I'm going to try. Y'all know I get carried away when I'm talking about credit, man, because I'm so passionate about it. For those on Instagram and those on TikTok, I will be dropping the original video on both those platforms. Right now, you are watching through a cell phone until I figure out how to get StreamYard to integrate with TikTok and integrate with Instagram. There's a way to do it. I just haven't figured it out, but I will. So as you see, my title is The Fall of Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal is still considered one of the best credit unions in the nation. It's by far number one in the nation. And they were known for giving out high credit card limits, auto loans, business loans, home loans, property loans. They were extremely generous as long as you met their criteria. And oftentimes those criteria were manufactured. You know what I'm saying? Like people didn't actually meet the criteria, but because of certain people, those gurus, they call themselves teaching people the secret sauce, and these people went out and committed mass amounts of fraud. It begins with the godfather, Jay Morris. Jay Morris is considered like the godfather of all these gurus. You know what I'm saying? The HIM 500s, the Neo Davises, like you name them, they trace themselves back some way to Morris. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the first one, the first stunner. He was the first one that got to talk about generational wealth and financial literacy. And, you know, you open up the Black House in Atlanta and we see how that went. You know, it defrauded thousands of people out of their money. But the beginning of the fall with Navy Federal, to me, began with HIM 500 because he started teaching the secret sauce on Earn Your Leisure platform. All right, and I want to show you an example of what I'm talking.
Armed services, or you come from your father was, right? Let me explain something and do this now, because putting it on Earn Your Leisure and the videos get 100, 200,000 views, y'all got to act now. So everybody that's watching live, y'all got about a 24-hour window, 72 hours before we might, ruin this.
So what he's going to do is he's going to talk about the backdoor method that we used to be able to use in order to get into Navy Federal. It used to be what's considered a backdoor method. So he's going to go on Earn Your Leisure that has millions of followers and teach all these people how to use this backdoor method.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, but the backdoor method to get in Navy Federal was this. You can literally call Navy Federal and tell them, hey, listen, my grandfather was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. He passed away. I don't have any of his information. They'll come back, boom, boom, boom. And when they come back, what they'll do is actually let you in. Boom. Now you're in. You don't need anybody's references. You don't need to be in the military. That's a backdoor method. Now, what Navy Federal was infamous for giving, $15,000 to $25,000 in credit cards, right? You can go with the Go Rewards card. $15,000 to $25,000.
Okay, so as you see right there, he's telling you how to use the backdoor method in order to get into Navy Federal. You call Navy Federal, you simply say, hey, look, my grandfather was in the military. I don't know all his credentials, but this is his name. And they will let you in. They even went so far as to say that if you talk to the first person and you didn't get the response you were looking for, hang up and call back and talk to the next person. Well, that doesn't work anymore. Oh, my light just went out. That doesn't work anymore. It used to work. That doesn't work anymore at all. Oh, both of them went out. Okay, I hope you guys, I still got a little light. That doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? Because of him giving out information to hundreds of thousands of people. So you can imagine the next day, Navy Federal gets flooded with phone calls of people saying, my grandfather was in the military and I don't know his information. All right. Now it didn't stop there. It got worse. It got worse because he went on to teach you how to commit fraud. And that's what a lot of people are doing right now on social media. Like when they tell you, put this as your income, put this as your rent, put this as your savings and your checking. When they start telling you what numbers to input, but you don't actually generate those numbers, that is considered fraud. And you can go to the feds for lying on a financial document. Check this out.
And you either pay $2,000 or $0 a monthly on living expenses. And I was in the military and he's not, with us anymore. Unfortunately, he passed away. And I don't have any of his information. They'll grant you access. You're going to go for the rewards Visa card. Okay. Mm-hmm. Go for the reward Visa cards. You want to put your income, when you do it, put your income at $150,000.
Now, think about that. He said, put your income. I literally just heard 3 or 4 people last week on Instagram advising people on what to put their income at. I will actually talk about that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what he's doing. He's setting people up for failure. And I say that because if you don't make $150,000 and you put down, I make $150,000, and say they give you a $50,000 credit card, if you've never managed that type of money before, you're doomed. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a plan for that money, if you don't have a way to repay that money, you know what I'm saying? You don't have how to service that debt, you're doomed. You're absolutely doomed. And this is exactly what he's saying. He's telling you what to put on the application. This is complete fraud.
Your income, when you do it, put your income at $150,000, right? And you either pay $2,000 or $0 a monthly on living expenses. And that's what'll get you. So put $150K as your income on there, and your living expenses is $2,000, or you put $0, and that's what's going to kick you your large limit.
So as you see, he literally just told you how to get a larger limit. He just taught you. This is how you get a larger limit with Navy Federal. You put in $150,000 a year income. You put in $2,000 for living expenses. This should trigger the algorithm in order to give you high limit credit cards. All right. Now, one more thing that he was teaching, I want to show you. And this is where all this came from. A lot of this came from Jay Morrison, him 500, and people start repeating. People wasn't putting the work in. They wasn't actually going out, figuring out like, okay, does this actually work or not? No, they wasn't doing that. They were just repeating what he said, thinking that he put the work in, and he probably did. I don't know. But I know during COVID, they was charging people $10,000, $15,000 to be a part of their inner circle. And people were actually paying it. And they were teaching these people how to commit fraud. They were teaching them how to manufacture documents. And several of those people right now are sitting in federal penitentiary. Several are sitting in federal penitentiary. They were teaching them how to use CPNs in this secret circle that you had to pay $10,000 to $15,000 to get inside. You know, they was telling people, oh, we got an inside track with American Express. You know, we cool with the underwrite over there. We guarantee to get you an American Express Platinum card. Like, it was absolutely fucking ridiculous what they was doing. Now, this was the icing on the cake. There's a thing called auto conversion. All right. Navy Federal is one of the few financial institutions in the United States that say you get ready to go purchase a vehicle, you apply, you get approved, and once you get approved, they mail you out what's called a draft with the amount that you've been approved on. Your job is to take that draft to the dealership or to a private owner who has the vehicle. They fill out the draft. They call Navy Federal. Navy Federal give them a special code to put on the draft. Once they give them a special code, now they can cash the check. What Him 500 was teaching his people how to do was go to carguru.com or go to an auto trader or one of those, you know, massive sites that have vehicles on there. Figure out how much you want to get a loan for. Let's say in his case, he said he wanted to get a loan for $100,000 for a vehicle. And I've known people that got loans for $100,000 from Navy Federal and DCU for a vehicle. And you go on carguru.com, you find a vehicle that books out for $100,000. You put those VIN numbers on the back of the draft, deposit it, the check clears. That's called a car conversion. If you never heard of a car conversion, that's a car conversion. That's when you take an auto loan and you convert it into cash. Up until maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I knew guys that were still doing that. You know, I knew them personally. You know what I'm saying? However, it's becoming more difficult now because so many people were doing it. And Navy Federal couldn't figure out, like, okay, how are these guys not turning in these titles? Because you have 90 days to turn the title in. You know, once you get the vehicle, either the car lot or you, if you're buying the vehicle from a individual, you have 90 days to turn that title in. And what happened is that guys will not turn in the title. So you don't get in trouble. The auto loan turned into a personal loan. All right, so let's backtrack. You apply for an auto loan with Navy Federal. You figure out how to cash the draft. You get cash on hand. You don't have the vehicle, you have cash. You've now converted the auto loan into cash, all right, through unscrupulous methods. Once you get that cash, Navy Federal think that you have a vehicle. You have 90 days to turn in the title to Navy Federal for the vehicle. Once that 90 days expires, now that auto loan turns into a personal loan. And the only difference is it's going to have a higher interest rate. This is how people get jammed up. And we're going to go to the video. This is how people get jammed up. You got $100,000 in your hand. Let's not even go that far. Let's say you got approved for $38,000 for a car. So now you got $38,000 cash minus whatever you had to pay the person in order to cash the check, because there has to be a third party involved some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a third party. So most of the time, most third parties charge anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000. So let's say you get an auto loan for $39,000. You pay the guy for busting the check. So now you got $34,000. If you don't have a plan or a way in order to service that debt, now you're just going deeper into debt. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't have a plan, before you even get the money, if you don't have a plan to say, okay, look, this is what I'm going to do with this $35,000 once it's in my hand. This is how I'm going to service your debt. This is how I'm going to make sure Navy Federal get paid, keep my good graces with them. If you don't have a plan, what's going to happen is once that loan default, they're going to go deeper into your personal finances. They're going to reach out to the IRS. They're going to ask the IRS, send us his last 2 to 4 years income tax returns. And when they see that you submitted fraudulent returns, when they see that you don't make $150,000 a year, when they see that you don't make $150,000 a year, you just committed wire fraud. And you're going to the feds. Trust me, you're going to the feds. Now check this information out that he's telling people.
You go in there and say, I need 100,000, right?
What's your credit got to be?
700 plus, right? I give a blueprint on this show, how to build your credit report out in detail. You go to Navy Federal, say, listen, I need to get 100,000. You get a Car Guru VIN number, and when you get the VIN number, you put it and mark it down 10,000. They cut you the check 24 hours.
A cargo, say that again?
Car Guru.
Car
Just get a
Guru.
VIN number to
Right.
apply for the loan.
Right.
They gonna cut you the
Without
check
the
24
car.
hours. You got 90 days to give them the title. If you don't give them the title, it turns into a personal loan. So they just legally gave you the loan. It ain't nothing illegal. It turns into a personal loan. But ain't no way in hell you can go to the bank and get a personal loan. So for everybody out there, if you get your credit up, it's free game on this show. Then what happens is, okay, you got 100,000 from the bank.
Go ahead.
Slow it down, slow it down.
You just got 100,000 from the bank. It's an auto loan. It's at
I'm gonna take it
3%
back
for the
one
first
time. I want y'all to
right
hear.
now,
I'm gonna take it
and
back.
apply for an auto loan. You could pull a VIN number off of Car Gurus. They'll give you a loan if you say, okay, look, I'm giving.
Now he's saying you could pull a VIN number off Cargo Rules. So you're applying for a loan for 100,000. All right, you're going to go to Cargo Rules and find a vehicle that's worth 100,000. You're going to pull the VIN number off that vehicle and submit it to them for the loan, and that's the VIN number that you're going to put on the draft in order to cash the draft and turn the draft into a check.
The other play. You go in there and say, I need 100,000, right?
What's your credit got to be?
700 plus, right? I give a blueprint on this show, how to build your credit report out in detail. You go to Navy Federal, say, listen, I need to get 100,000. You get a Car Guru VIN number, and when you get the VIN number, you put it and mark it down 10,000. They cut you the check 24 hours.
A cargo, say that again?
Car Guru.
Car
Just get a
Guru.
VIN number to
Right.
apply
Cut
for the
you the
loan.
check.
Right.
They gonna cut you the
Without
check
the
24
car.
hours. You got 90 days to give them the title. If you don't give them the title, it turns into a personal loan. So they just legally gave you the loan. It ain't nothing illegal. It turns into a personal loan.
All right, everything about that is illegal. Listen to what he said.
They gave you the loan. It ain't nothing illegal. It turns into a personal loan. But
It's absolutely illegal because Navy Federal did not give you a personal loan. Navy Federal gave you an auto loan. You took that auto loan, you defrauded them, you took the auto loan, and you converted the auto loan into cash. That is illegal. That is absolutely illegal, and you can and will go to the feds.
ain't no way in hell you can go to the bank and get a personal loan. So for everybody out there, if you get
So now what he said is that it's not illegal. It's easier for you to get an auto loan and convert it into cash because there is no way in hell you're gonna get a personal loan. And I want to say something about this real quick. I want to say something. If you got a 700 credit score, all right, if you got a 700 credit score, you can get a loan, man. You literally have no problem getting a loan with a 700 credit score. No problem getting a loan if you meet all the criterias. All right, you can have a 700 credit score and still get denied for everything because it depends on how your credit profile is built. You know what I'm saying? It's based. You know what I mean? If your profile doesn't match up with the score, you can still get denied for everything. There's no guarantee that you would get approved. You would still get denied. I've seen it. I've seen people with 720 credit scores, but they had what's called a thin credit profile. They haven't proven themselves that they can handle debt. But if you do have a right structured profile and you have proven that you can handle debt, if you got a 700 credit score, you can easily run up 150, 200,000. So what he's saying is absolutely false.
if you don't give them the title, it turns into a personal loan. So they just legally gave you the loan. It ain't nothing illegal. It turns to a personal loan. But ain't no way in hell you can go to the bank and get a personal loan. So for everybody out there, if you get your credit up, it's free game on this show. Then what happens is, okay, you got 100,000 from the bank.
Go ahead.
Slow it down, slow it down.
Yeah.
You just got 100,000 from the bank. It's an auto loan. It's at 3% for the first 90 days.
3%?
3 to 5%, right?
Damn.
For the first 90 days. After that, it turns to a personal loan. the interest rate go higher. What happens is now you got a bankroll. So now if you want to risk somebody money, risk the bank's money. So when you see a Wall Street trapper, when you see the Earn Your Leisures in the Earners Anonymous, you now can say, okay, well, shit, them folk money anyway. So I put 10,000 over there, test it out. See, this is where now, but what happens is most of us will get the money and go blow it. Instead of going blowing it, you got these white folk money, go invest it. Go figure out and gamble their money. So now instead of rolling dice, you saying, okay, let me put 10,000 on Ethereum. Let me put 10,000 in Bitcoin and see how it grows. Then you start to learn and then you get comfortable because now that's the beauty of all of us. We got communities where you can come and get with people who look like you, who making the same moves. When you got niggas out the streets making 200,000 a month who look like you off of investing money, flipping less than you had, right? They flipping less than you had, but they making 200,000 a month and they look just like you. The issue is education and getting comfortable. But if you ain't comfortable enough to risk what you didn't risk your life for, then go get the white folk money with the credit. Come back and play the game with them.
Man, that shit sound good. That shit sound good. When you talk about some risk them white folks money, that shit sound good. Till the white folks put your ass in the feds. but listen, man. But that's what started, to me, the whole downfall and the reason why Navy Federal has tightened up its gears. Now, Navy Federal isn't the only credit union out there. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm starting to see these gurus target other credit unions. You know, Apple Federal Credit Union, DCU, Teachers Credit Union. It's a bunch of them out there. Truist Bank. Like, it's a lot of them out there that's just as sweet as Navy Federal. But I think Navy Federal has kind of like set a new standard for a lot of banks to put a lot of restrictions down. And I told the story the other day. I had a guy that was a 20-year military veteran. He wanted to put his son in Navy Federal. He gave me all the information. I literally did it myself. And at the end of putting in the application, which I just knew, you know, he's going to get in because the father has what's called a DD-214, which is like a military ID number. So if you got a DD-214, you know, with Navy Federal, I mean, you pretty much a cinch. You're going to get in. That didn't happen. You know, Navy Federal sent the email saying, hey, look, you know, bring them into the nearest branch. We need to see them. So they're definitely tightening. They're tightening up their restrictions. It used to be a time to where, and I'm getting ready to play another video where this young lady talks about an access number, where she said, if you can't get an access number, you know, you don't want no money. But it used to be a time to where I knew guys that used to sell access numbers. Like, say if this person was a member of Navy Federal and, you know, he knew somebody that was trying to get in, he would charge them, you know, $500. Well, back then it was $300. Now I heard it's like $750 to try to get into Navy Federal. Like, they're actually charging like $750 in order to, you know, attempt to get you in Navy Federal, because there is no guarantee even with an access number you would get in. That's what's so crazy about Navy Federal right now. Like, it used to be access number, right in, no problem. Now, not so easy because of people like the videos you just heard. You know what I'm saying? People that were literally teaching scam, teaching fraud. So this same method has resurfaced again. And like I said, I'm starting to see more and more videos of people talking about Navy Federal, Apple Federal Credit Union, Digital Credit Union. Like, they're teaching the same old methods of how to, quote unquote, get a bag, that it's supposed to be free money, that you can get $100,000 with no docs. Matter of fact, they're not going to even run your Social Security number. You know what I'm saying? Like, check this young lady out.
Your Navy Federal account for a month or longer, and you got to have a 6. Navy Federal has a new no docs loan. Y'all know when it comes to Navy Federal, they literally just sit there and give away money. Like, they literally give away money. It's 2024. If you still ain't got nobody access code to make you one, I don't think you want no money for real. Anyways, all you need is your Navy Federal account for a month or longer, and you got to have a 600 or more credit score.
Think about this here. Think about this, guys. She said all you have to do is have your Navy Federal account for a month or longer, and you can apply for a loan for up to $100,000, no doc. You just have to have your account for a month. That's it.
Y'all ain't hear this from me, but Navy Federal has a new no docs loan. Y'all know when it comes to Navy Federal, they literally just sit there and give away money. Like, they literally give away money. It's 2024. If you
They
still ain't got
literally
nobody access
literally.
code to make you one, I don't think you want no money for real. Anyways, all you need is your Navy federal account for a month or longer, and you gotta have a 600 or more credit score. If your credit score is above a 600 and you had your Navy federal for a month or more, you're eligible for a no-doc loan up to 100K. I said up to 100K. I didn't say you was gonna get the whole humbug. But this is great if you're trying to like start a small business, if you got any debt that you're trying to wipe out. And it can also be forgiven.
Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas. You know what I mean?
Don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit.
Tell you shit. Hey, listen, man. This young lady has convinced people because, trust me, people believe her. They believe her. And what's crazy is that every time you see somebody that come on social media and give you this kind of information, they never show proof. They never show proof. Show me where you have done it. Show me where you have done it. Show me where you have got up to $100,000 no doc loan. If you can't get an access number, you don't want no money, get up to $100,000. Show me what you have done. Like, show me how much money you got no doc loan with Navy Federal, account only open 30 days. Man, stop believing this bullshit, man. Stop believing this bullshit. It's not that easy, man. There is no such thing as a no doc loan. You either got to have good credit or you got to have collateral. Oftentimes, depending on how much you're trying to borrow, they're going to want collateral. They want good credit and collateral. But there is no such thing as a no doc loan. Everything deals with documentation. I need to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes, they want to see 2 years tax returns. I need to know that you can pay my money back. Why would I give you $50,000 if you can't pay me back? Like Navy Federal just give away money. Banks just give away money with no return, no interest. That's what they do. Come on, man. Quit believing these people, man. Stop believing these people. I'm telling you, stop believing these people. It's not that easy. It don't work like that. And it never worked like that. It never worked like that. You know what I'm saying? But and again, there are some other great credit unions out there that are on par with Navy Federal. You know, right now, and I'm a member of, right now I got 8 different accounts. You know what I'm saying? 1 bank, 7 credit unions. You know what I mean? Nationwide. Every time me and my wife, we go travel somewhere, whatever Airbnb we at, I use that address and I go open up an account at a credit union in that state, in that city. So I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I can say with all sincerity, Digital Credit Union may be a little bit better than Navy Federal in some aspects, but when it comes to like customer service, when it comes to answering your questions 24 hours a day, Navy Federal top notch. They top notch. You can call Navy Federal anytime, day or night, and ask them a question. They're gonna have an answer for you. You know what I'm saying? Digital Credit Union, not so much. They 8 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Like 8 to 5. But when it comes to Digital Credit Union has a program to where after you've been with them for 90 days, they will actually loan you $2,000 after 90 days. Like they will literally put $2,000 in your account. You know what I'm saying? Simmons Bank, another institution I'm with. Simmons Bank, even though it's a bank, it operates like a credit union. They have a great credit building program. You know what I'm saying? And all this information, if anybody needs any information from me, man, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? DM me. I'll send you my link for a consultation. You know what I'm saying? We could talk. It's 2025, man. Let's stop making these scammers rich. You know what I'm saying? Make these niggas get jobs for real like you got a job. You know what I mean? Let's start working on our credit, our health, and our wealth. Let's get our shit together. You know what I mean? You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow.